Hey. Today, I'll be going over a couple of mangas that I've recently picked up and give you all a quick rundown of what I think about them. And I encourage you guys to skip around if you ever get bored of me talking about any one of these mangas. I'll leave all the timestamps in the description below, and yeah, let's get started. Dandadan is one of the fastest growing manga out right now, and the author Tatsuya Nobu was once the assistant to Tatsuki Fujimoto, working on the likes of Chainsaw Man, so you know this is not going to be your average manga experience. And when I say this, I genuinely mean it, where this is some of the most fun I've had reading any manga in a while. The panels will blow you away with how the art pops, fight scenes are beautifully drawn in such a fluid way, and like many other anime and manga tropes, it all starts off in high school. Ken is quiet, doesn't have any friends, and likes to stick to his own little bubble. He'd rather ignore the class bullies throwing crumpled paper at him than confront them about it. Then there's Momo. She's loud, knows what she likes, and gets in your face about it. One day, their two worlds collide, and Momo decides to break into Ken's bubble, standing up to the kids picking on him. And this is probably the most tame part of the manga because shit gets weird real quick. To give you a quick rundown, the two start conversing on the topics of aliens and ghosts. On Momo's side, she believes in ghosts but not in UFOs, and on Ken's side, he believes in aliens, but to him, there's no such thing as a paranormal. So the two made a bet to visit each other's sites that contain each of their phenomena and investigate it. Ken visited this dark and creepy tunnel while Momo was sent to this abandoned building where a lot of UFO sightings have occurred. For a while, both didn't hear a peep. It was quiet, eerie, and calm. Almost too calm. Nope. Ken was not feeling it and booked right on out of there, and Momo was dealing with her own issues where she was captured by aliens. Then out of nowhere, Ken was cursed by the Turbo Granny Ghost, and this strange combination saves Momo for a brief moment, allowing her the time to discover her innate psychic abilities, which she used to defeat the genital stealing aliens. Yup, you heard me right. These aliens want to steal human genitals so they can advance their evolution to a new level. One thing I love about this manga are the crazy creature designs. Like, looking at the anatomy of these creatures, I love how the author draws them where it is really exaggerated in a good way because it shows the flow of movement and structure of each one of them where it can be comprehended. And don't get me started with the fights in Dandadan. The imagery and creativity of psychic powers and curse powers that Ken and Momo uses to fight ghosts and aliens is awesome to see. One of my favorite ways they use Momo's psychic powers is when she creates these giant hands and starts squeezing them underwater to propel them quicker than they could if they just swam. Also during this scene, the attention to detail to how the backgrounds are drawn is something I never really paid attention to until I read Dandadan. I've never been too keen on the idol genre of any anime or manga. It never really appealed to me, so when I heard that the main character isn't the idol, but rather is a child of the idol and was reincarnated from his past life after getting murdered, I naturally got curious and started reading this manga, and there was so much detail left out. Like, the idol was pregnant at 16 years old, and he was also the doctor meant to deliver the idol's baby, and also not to mention that he was a huge fan of hers. Oshi no Ko was written by the author who wrote one of the best romance mangas ever, Kaguya-sama, so for me to say that I had no clue where the story was going is an understatement. But I was pleasantly surprised where he took it by displaying the dark side of show business and how it affects everyone in it. One topic that I really like in the manga is how it portrays the struggles of getting recognized in the industry. The idols are competing with other groups and individuals within their field, and often with their own group members as well. Not only do they have to deal with the competition in and out of their circle, but also the scrutiny the public throws at them over every little detail. Like how they're presenting themselves on and off stage. For example, if they're faking their smile or if they've been in a previous relationship before, the pressure to live up to their fans' expectations and be the perfect human being in their eyes is constantly looming over them. I love how modern and in tune to the real world this manga is with the use of social media. It goes in depth to how it affects one's mental health, where someone being criticized can go down this rabbit hole reading comment after comment of negativity and hate, which can spiral out of control, leading to the mental being shattered. The manga doesn't only focus on idol groups, but also different areas in showbiz like acting and how the cast interact with each other off camera. For example, if you're not pleasant to be around or you're hard to work with, then the information gets spread around and then no one wants to work with you anymore. But it also goes the other way around as well, where if you are pleasant to be around, you gain their good graces and now have their connections, which is everything in showbiz. Down, 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 down. Do you love your battle shonens? Because I have the manga for you. If you have a monkey brain like me and can't imagine an apple in your head, or just want a break from all the other shit you are reading or watching, then look no further than Kaiju number 8. Out of the 3 I listed, this is probably going to be the easiest for me to recommend to anyone. It's a shonen after all, so a lot of it's going to be generic, following a similar formula to many others. Kind of similar to an isekai, but with one of those weird twists, like being reincarnated as a sentient sword. I still somehow read this manga weekly, even though I'm harping on it a lot, because it's just so much fun. A world riddled with kaijus that terrorizes the planet, our protagonist Kafka Hibino and his childhood friend Mina Ashiro were some of the few that were impacted from the devastation of these monsters. Both of them vowed that one day they would join the defense force and eradicate all of them together. But unfortunately for Kafka, he never passed the process to join the defense force and was left behind by Mina. She went on to become a captain, while Kafka is now 32 years old working for a kaiju cleaning company. And this manga is exactly what you think it's going to be about, kaijus being the living shit out of each other. You know how most shonens, the main character usually has some characteristic that is unique to them? Like Naruto having the 9 tails, Ichigo being a soul reaper, and Luffy being literal rubber? Well, Kafka is also unique in that one day in the hospital when he was injured from work, this small kaiju appeared in front of him and flew straight into his mouth, transforming him into a kaiju himself. And that's where chapter 1 ends. If you're going into this manga wanting a deeper meaning to this story, I would say stay away from it, but if you want all-out action, then this is the manga I would easily recommend. And yeah, subscribe. I have a couple other videos you can go and check out, and that would be pretty cool. Thanks for watching. Bye.